It's something that I should have had my hearing aids, but I did, and it's an important issue, especially with this pipeline that's trying to come through Iowa. There's a CO2 pipeline trying to come through Iowa, and the public doesn't want it to come through. And the company president, CEO, is a friend of the governor's, and he wants the governor to use eminent domain to allow his pipeline to come through. Well, it's a CO2 pipeline, and nobody wants it to come through. Now, we've had other pipelines come through county before. It comes through my stepdad's farm ground, and the pipeline that comes through is an oil pipeline, natural gas pipeline. And they have so much right of way that they purchased that right of way from each individual farmer on the way down through. And they take care of the surveying and the monitoring and all of that good stuff. But that pipeline company had to negotiate with each and every individual farmer to get that pipeline to go through, which they did. This pipeline company wants to use the eminent domain to allow his pipeline to go through. Now, I don't oppose the use of eminent domain, but I do oppose the fact that you would use eminent domain, which is supposed to be for the public good, for the benefit, the financial benefit of a private company. That's bullshit. And what the vote today was on the county considering a resolution setting up a public hearing for consideration of an ordinance entitled, now this is entitled, an ordinance enacting a new right-of-way control ordinance to regulate certain occupancies and uses of county right-of-way. And it was also to, what did it say here? Oh, I think I would have to go to just a minute here, and I'll tell you real quick. Minimum setback distances from private entrances, tile crossings, and if nobody knows what those are, tiles are the things that come out of fields that drain the water. So tiles are set down in the ground at certain depth, and if you get too much rain, the rain soaks into the ground, hits a tile, and it's like a one-way street for the water to get sloughed off of the ground into the ditch, down through the creeks and waterways to the rivers. Tile crossing culverts and bridges. Communication with county decision makers and supervisors. Approval for access to county right-of-ways and highways, which are the ditches from center line of the road to the fence, which is generally 33 feet, depending. Cost reimbursement for emergency management, ambulance services, sheriff, or other county resources related to an emergency from the industry, or fines from any industry for violations, and the right to revoke the permit. So that's what they were voting on today. And we got that passed. So there will be a public hearing on that. And there was a lot of other things on there. But that was the main thing. I really don't disagree with the use of eminent domain for the public good. And generally, that was used for putting in roads, bridges, and railways. Now, railways are another thing because railways are privately owned companies too, but subsidized by the federal government. So that any entity that's subsidized by the federal or state government can then use eminent domain like the windmill industry has here, or the solar farms have here, because that's for the public good, right? Now, no, it might be for the public good, but windmills are the most heavily subsidized industry in the United States, and over their lifespan, which is about 20 years, they will not produce enough electricity to pay for themselves. And that electricity is going not to generally co-ops, but to power companies. So again, use of eminent domain for private industry to make profit, which I disagree with totally, wholeheartedly. Not only that, but the fact that Iowa is not a high wind producing state, nor is it a high sun producing state, only for a couple, 3 months out of the year, and the rest of the year it's overcast, so no electricity is being generated from solar panels. Solar panels and solar panel farms should be where the sun shines most of the day, most of the year. Where would that be? Southwest. Okay, makes sense. High wind areas are where windmills should be. Where would that be? High wind areas. Don't know. I'd have to do some studying, but I'm thinking the plains of Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Texas would be more suited to windmills than farm country Iowa or farm country Minnesota. Just my 2 cents worth, but I can take you out on a drive around and I can show you windmills every goddamn where. And windmills have a big footprint. If you didn't realize it, you have to put in a windmill. It takes about half a year to get one put in, or a year, because you have a big cement pier that has to go in the ground. The steel infrastructure, the turbine up on top, and the blades. Plus, you have to have an access road going in so that you can maintain and repair the windmill, because they break down all the damn time. And what is that right away and the footprint for that windmill? What is that taking away from? That's taking away from some of the best farmland in the United States here in Iowa for a most heavily subsidized entity in the United States, windmills, that won't produce enough electricity to pay for itself. But it would produce food or corn for ethanol. Ethanol, that's another subject altogether. Ethanol is a joke as far as fuel goes. It's a joke. They had to do something with extra corn. Couldn't feed the world with it because corn really has no nutritional value, but very, very little in the kernel of the corn. The rest of the corn, the hull, is expelled out of your system. No nutritional value in it whatsoever. Hi, Seven Stacks. Just my going over my agenda here for the my meeting I had this morning, and then I came home and checked the mail. I had nothing in the mail that would have been of interest to you guys at all. no packages today. And so I went out to the shed and I unloaded some cat food and whatever. But I had to take some jet dry into my butchering room, is where it's got my panning station for pay dirt set up. And I went in and said, oh, yeah, I still have some pay dirt I have to go through the third time. I think it was clutch pay dirt. It was a half a gram, quarter gram, half a gram, I think, quarter gram. Anyway, I was going to let it dry out and then dry classify it, but I decided not to. So I wet classified it, went through it again. I found 4 little bitty colors. 4 little bitty colors. I mean, there was hardly enough to see with a magnifying glass or a loop. And I managed to get it brushed into a container, but that was it. That was all I found after the first 2 times I went through it. The second time I went through it, I didn't find but maybe that much again. So if I had just gone through it once and dumped that pay dirt, I would have had probably a 99%, 99.9% recovery rate just panning one time. So I'm getting better at it. I am getting better at it. But then I came in the house and sat down and started listening to something on the internet in this chair and fell asleep. And I felt, well, it would have been about 11 o'clock when I came in the house. I thought, well, maybe I'll go outside and do something today. It's a little hot, a little humid, rained like hell yesterday again. Nope. Fell asleep in his chair and I woke up at about 2:30. So, all right. Now the thumbnail for this video is a brick with a brass plaque on it. That's outside the surf ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa. We'd been in the surf ballroom, the famous surf ballroom where Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper played their last concert together before they crashed their airplane just south of the Mesa City Airport and died. And so I took a picture. I was at the Robert Cray concert. I told you guys about that last video we did. And I was just outside by myself in line for half an hour before anybody else started to show up. So I was in line a total of about an hour and a half. And so you look at the bricks while you're there, and there's a lot of bricks out there with a lot of plaques on and stuff. And I'll show some more of them at some time. But Buddy Holly's brick is right there over to the right, upper right on the walkway. So I did that. Oh, another thing I want to get you. The Surf Ballroom has added, they bought a section of land right there on the corner. And let's see if I can find it. Yep, here it is. They bought a section of land on the corner beside the Surf Ballroom. There was a bar there that wasn't doing too good a business. And another business, I think that was out of business, but you see the new card? They built a new experience there. The Surf Ballroom. Never before seen historical artifacts and take part in an immersive experience called Not Fade Away. Opening September 5th, 2025. Get your tickets down at surfballroom.com. And in that building, it's a 2-story building. It says, walk with legends of rock music, immerse all your senses in a story of rock and roll history, discover what's never been seen until now. But they're giving music lessons in there, beginner, advanced, extra advanced guitar lessons, horn lessons. There's an interactive displays in there. I haven't been inside yet. I've only gone to the old part, and they're separated by a driveway. That's it. And soon to come, there's going to be a walkway from the second story over to the old building. But that'll be a fun experience, I think. I might go see this September 5th. I don't know what the tickets are going to be, but I'd like to go see it. Anyway, so I picked that up. What was I going to say before that? Yeah, that was a thumbnail. I had a couple other thumbnails too, I forgot. Hey, JC, how you doing, buddy? But anyway, Robert Cray Band, 50 years of rock and roll, blues, and can hammer on a guitar just like back in 1975, 76. And still all the same four guys. It's just the same four individuals, the originals. It was a good show. If you've never seen Robert Cray, you like blues and you like blues rock, go see it. Go see him. Worth it. All right. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, Buddy Holly dying, which brings me to Stevie Ray Vaughan when he died. He died in a helicopter crash up in Wisconsin after playing at Alpine Valley. We were up at Alpine Valley, well, actually, the airport right there. But we were skydiving at the time, and we were spending the weekend up there. What the hell? It's Seven Hills skydivers. And had I known about the concert, we'd have probably gone that evening. But the way it was, we did not. Next morning, we learned about it. I and two of my friends did a skydive, and I have a picture of that that I keep. I know it's hard to see because you get the reflection from my monitor. But yep, that's me. That's Dan. And that's Rich. Rich is passed. Dan is now living in Florida. And that's me. Back when I was a little younger and a little more fit. But yes, I have that picture along with my other military memorabilia. And you notice we're all in fatigues because we're all vets. I would think I was still in reserve at the time. Dan was still in reserves. He was stationed with me at the 12th Special Forces Group up in Arlington Heights, Illinois, or B Company 1st Battalion. And I'm not sure which team Dan was on. He was on 222 and then 223. I don't know. After that, I was on 224, then 221 during the transition, and then I became a team sergeant for 222. So I don't know where he was at the end, but we got deactivated and totally shut down in 95. I think our company got shut down in 94. Then the battalion headquarters got shut down. Then it went to group, and group got shut down in 95 after all the assets had been transferred over to the National Guard. So at that time, then the 20th Special Forces Group, which is a National Guard group, formed a provisional company in Chicago, and some of the guys went down there. I could not because I was a dual status employee employed by the Department of the Army. So I had to be in a reserve unit. Dual status, meaning I had to be in the reserves in order to hold that job with the reserves. Dual status, which is a stupid law, but that's the way it was. So I couldn't go to the National Guard. I had to be in a reserve unit. So for the last 14 months of my military career, I spent with the 85th Training Division right there in Arlington Heights, Illinois, at the compound. And I had also moved to southern Iowa, so I was constantly looking for another reserve unit in Iowa that I could join. But being a master sergeant and E8, those slots are very few and far between. And I RST'd, or I did a drill with another reserve unit and I got paid like I normally would, but the unit, the 85th Division, let me go ahead and drill with those reserve units looking for another E8 slot. And I did that for about 12 of the 14 months. And it just wasn't to be. So when I got my 20 years in, I put in my paperwork and said, I'm out. That's it. I retired. I'm done. I'm collecting ladies. Yeah, I see that. JC is not a guy. Okay, I'm sorry. But more often than not, I call everybody dude. So, or I'll resort to my my military training, and I will call everybody, even the men, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. They don't want to be wrong. I could say, yes, ma'am, sir, like we used to do, ma'am, sirs. And that covers everybody. Or it should cover everybody. Probably hasn't the last 10 years or so, but whatever. I don't even care anymore. So if I call you something and I misgender you or whatever, it's not because I don't care or I'm not empathetic or I am empathetic. I just don't care. Let's do that. All right. What is today? It's the 19th. What is tomorrow? What is tomorrow? Come on. You ladies guess. You can guess what it is tomorrow. Just a second. I will give you a hint. I will give you a hint. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Oh man. I lost it. No, I didn't. It's here. Thought I lost it. I thought I lost it, but I didn't. You know what this is, right? There's a hint. Come on. Come on, you guys. Guess. What's the first guess? First guess is going to be birthday, right? Deep. So I guess I'm making supper tomorrow night. I guess I'll make some supper tonight too. You know what I'm going to have tonight? I'm going to have macaroni and cheese, and I'm going to fry up some hamburger and throw a half pound of hamburger in the macaroni and cheese, stir it all up, Throw some extra cheese in there. I've got some provolone. No, I don't. I'm out of provolone. I have Gouda and I have Havarti. And I'll throw a little bit extra of that. A little bit extra Velveeta in there, of course. And throw the hamburger in there. Stir it all up and eat it. But I think I got to take that out of the freezer tonight. I got to take a couple of steaks out of the freezer. So we'll do that. We'll take some steaks out of the freezer. I'm going to cut up some onion. Tonight, I'm going to rehydrate some mushroom. And I'll saute some mushroom and onion. What kind of mushroom should we have? Should we have some more oysters, or should we have, we'll have some sheep's head mushrooms. Yeah, we'll have some sheep's head. I like them better anyway. Yes, mushrooms that I go out and find and clean and dehydrate and put in bags. And then when I feel like mushrooms, I can rehydrate some and eat some. They're really good. They're really good. All right. Well, we have because I didn't take my hearing aids and I couldn't hear shit at the meeting, I could only hear one person, and she actually spoke up because I think she was actually trying to make a point to one of the other supervisors. We have 5 supervisors, and I know 2 of them. I know one of them. I know his name. And the other 2, I don't know. One's an older gentleman, one's a younger female. I don't know either one of those 2 people. I do know their names, but I don't know them personally. 2 of them that I know personally. One I went to school with, and the other one, I went to school with her, but she was a few years younger than me. Her husband is a year younger than me, 15 months younger than me. I went to school with him and his older sister. So they have a website, and it is available to the public via GoToMeeting. Join for the video. They videotape every supervisor's meeting, and then you can go online and listen, and that's probably what I will do and see what I actually missed listening to today. But the one guy supervisor that I actually went to school with in my grade, he was bringing up all kinds of impediments, legal questions. Well, this is going to be this in court, and that's going to be that in court, in this case, that, bullshit. Bullshit. Let anybody, let's just pass this ordinance. And then anybody who wants to contest it can then take us to court. Fuck them. That's the way I look at it. And then when they lose, they could pay our attorney's fees and their attorney's fees. Is there anybody watching right now? I don't know if there is or not. And if not, we will end this little thing at a half hour. But I wanted to show you guys that picture because I put that on as a thumbnail or a post yesterday. The billboard on the surf with the Robert Cray band, Robert Cray, and this picture of when we were up at Seven Hills skydiving. Anyway, that's about all I got to say tonight. If you guys want to talk about anything in particular, let me know. If you don't, I'll give you another 45 seconds and we will be out of here. But, oh, Steve looking for silver the other night made this joke about Steve looking for beaver, or Steve looking for beaver turning into Steve looking for otter. And I told Steve, no, I have an otter. I have a stuffed otter in my living room, but you're not getting him, because I sent him that when we were doing the Steve looking for a beaver thing, and Megan Gremlin and I were doing the beaver theme thing. I sent Steve my it's a muskrat fur, shaped like sewed together like a beaver. So it's got the little tails. Hey, Taragansu. I don't know if anybody's in chat, buddy. Seven was here, JCT was here, but I think they left. I don't know. I haven't heard from them. But yeah, we were talking about a supervisor's meeting I was at this morning about right-of-way access and the use of eminent domain for not public good, but for private corporations and their profits, which is something I'm totally against. I'm not against eminent domain for public good, roads, bridges, that kind of thing. But when you use eminent domain to seize land that somebody else has bought and paid for a private corporation to make money, that's wrong. Just fucking wrong. Hey, Mrs. Coin Crew, how are you? So that's where I was at this morning at 8:30 in the morning. Jesus Christ, I usually don't get up until 9:30 in the morning. But I had to be up in town by 8 o'clock, so I'd be at the meeting 8:30. I know why they hold meetings at 8:30 in the morning. It's because it's the start of their work day. I understand that. But who can attend supervisors meetings during the week at 8:30 in the morning? Usually it's retired people, older retired people, or younger people who don't have a full-time job. Anybody else with a full-time job cannot attend those meetings because they're working. Nah, it's not fun, but I just decided it's time to maybe get involved a little more. I picked up the set you showed yesterday. Oh, the Pride of Two Nations. You like those, don't you, Taragansu? That is a beautiful set, isn't it? And then I was asking people to guess what tomorrow is, and I'm giving you a hint. Giving you a hint here. Tomorrow is so. Ooh, that was a steal, bud. I don't know what I paid for the first one. The one I paid, I think it was 100. I think I paid a little over for the first one. The second one I paid $100 for. So that was really good. The first one I think I paid a little over what you paid. So dollar cost average. And then I was talking about the Surf has their grand opening of their new addition, a 2-story building with an interactive some displays in there. The museum's going to be over there. They're going to teach guitar and horn lessons over there. But so I picked up the card. Grand opening is September 5th. See that guy? That's Buddy Holly. That's a big bopper. Down here, over here. One of them. That's a big bopper. I forget who the other one is. Yeah, but they're the ones that all died in the plane crash. And then I was talking about when we were up Seven Hills skydiving in Wisconsin, the year that Stevie Ray Vaughan died. He died in a helicopter crash right there. He had a concert at Alpine Valley. I don't know if Robert Cray was playing with him that night or not, but his helicopter crashed into the side of the hill, and you have to be up there, but it's just a ring of hills, and it just fills up with fog at night, early morning, and that's when they went down in the morning, early morning hours, and it was foggy, and that's why they went right into the side of the hill. But I and my friends did a skydive that next morning. Yes, that's Rich. That's Dan. Right up here. That's me over there. And so we did that flag jump the next morning. But yeah, you see how big this bad boy is. So that's in there with all my military stuff. You notice we're all in fatigues in that jump. Well, why are we in fatigues? Well, Rich was in the military, I think during Vietnam. I don't think he ever went over. He might have. I don't know. He was old enough. Dan and I were in same reserve unit together. So, and we were both in the reserves at that time. So there you go. Yeah, you got a good deal, Targon, on that Pride of Two Nations. And it said, because I got a year on it, it says 2019. I wonder, I'll have to look, but I wonder if they did that again in another year. Like 2020 would have been a good year to do it in. And they could have done the COVID of Two Nations or COVID of the world or whatever. It would have been an opportunity to do something. But a lot of businesses shut down during 2020. So I don't know, man. Hey, Rhonda. No problem. It just, I woke up from a nap. I was looking at the internet or YouTube. I see nothing on. Angela Silver Sewing Machine was on a little earlier, but her audio on her streams is so bad that I can't hear it. So I fell asleep. I took a nap. I got back up. I looked, nothing on. So I decided I was going to show that picture because I did the post yesterday, and I showed Robert Cray Band and the marquee. I showed Robert Cray, the marquee, and I showed that picture. But I said I was going to come back on today and show it big. Cranky has gold for sale, huh? I'm going to have to go look at that then. Did he do a short or did he do a post? Must have did a post probably or a short. I don't know. Wonder what he's selling. I bought a bag of pay dirt last night. Guaranteed quarter gram. There are 15 bags. And you pay the $55 and pick whichever bag you want. Okay, quarter gram for 55 is a little much, not bad. But 1 in 15 has a half a gram in and maybe a little more. So you pick a number, you pay him, he'll ship you the bag, and you may get a half a gram. So it's cool. It's a mail call. It has at the end, okay. Dos medio. What is a dos medio? And I know what a cinco peso is. A 5 peso, that's a quarter ouncer. Or close to it. So that's going to be 800. I'm thinking. Dos medio. It's a dos peso. That's a 2 peso. So that's about not quite a tenth of an ounce. Yeah, all right. Well, I'll look it up and see. I will look it up and see. Yeah, when I came home from the supervisor's meeting, I put some cat food away down in the shop, and then I went into the butchering room. That's where I got my panning station set up in there for right now because we're not butchering anything. And I panned out some tailings I had left from a pay dirt bag from the Klesh, and I think I uploaded his video to him. I have to look and see if I uploaded his video to him or not. Anyway, I panned that all out, and I thought I had it all. I went back through it the second and third time today. The second time, I found 4 little specks. I mean the tiniest, like pinhead type specks. 4 specks out of that whole bag. I went back through it the third time, didn't find anything. So I know I got it all. I got most of it all the first time. I would say 99.9% of it the first time. Second time I got that little 1/10 was left, or 0.10 was left. But if I had missed that, I wouldn't cared at all. It was so small. I mean, so small. I did manage to get it in a vial though. And I allowed that to air dry. I didn't take a heat to it. 3.75 grams for 190. Yeah, that's not bad. Dos meals, 1.88. Okay, yeah. 190. Yeah, that's about right. The other is 390. Yeah. Well, 3.75 is for 4 and 8, 16. So it's an eighth of an ounce. And that's 2, and it's 1 gram under a tenth. So, okay. Not bad. Hi, Lisa. That's not bad. That's not bad. I wish it was closer to the first of the month, though. We're halfway through the month. Got 10, 11 days till the end of the month. Maybe he'd wait. I don't know. But I don't know. Some guys won't wait. Like Ginger will wait for me. If I say, yeah, I want to buy it. Can you wait till the first of the month? Yes, I'll do that. Who else will do that for me? Somebody else will do that for me too. Tiger will do that. No, not Tiger. Angry will do that for me. He needs the money by Thursday. Yeah, see. Well, there you go. I guess I won't be getting that then, will I? Not a big deal. I try to buy. At one point, I was buying 1/10 of an ounce every month. Got a little bit expensive when it went up, so I backed it down to 2 grams a month. So now that's what I'm getting, 2 grams a month. Little bars. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. It don't matter. So it doesn't. I don't know. What do you guys feel about getting involved in politics at the local level now? I'm thinking that now that I got nothing else to do, pretty much nothing else to do, oh, besides cutting wood and splitting it and stacking it and pan and pay dirt and going down the river and looking for gold, doing a little prospecting. I should get involved in local politics a little bit. Local politics, not state and not city because I don't live in a city, but county politics, yes, because I do live in the county. So I went to my first supervisors meeting today, and we were discussing an issue that's near and dear to my heart, and that's the use of eminent domain and right of way for corporations and companies. Now, the use of eminent domain is for the public good. You're actually taking land from someone who bought it with their own money, who owns it, but you're taking it for public usage, for the public good, for a highway or for a bridge or for a trailhead or something. Um, and, you know, like a dam or a hydroelectric dam or something like that. But when you use eminent domain and seize land for a pipeline right away to go through your property for profit for a private company, a private corporation, that I disagree with wholeheartedly. And one of the founding principles of this country was the right to own private property and to do with it as you see fit, within reason. And back in the day, there was a lot of private property. Like, say, a guy would buy fucking 5 acres of swamp ground, fill it over, and farm it. Well, you can't do that today. Swamp ground is swamp ground. It's an open air aquifer, is what it is. It's purifying water collects, sinks into the aquifer, and it gets purified as it goes down. You can't just, and it's also nesting and wildlife habitat, so you can't just cover it over anymore. They don't allow that. So I think that within reason, you should be able to do with your own property what you see fit. And if you don't want a pipeline to run across your property, and then that pipeline company has a right of way through your property, and they can traipse through and inspect their pipelines or add more pipeline over top or to the side of it because they have a right of way, a certain right of way, that shouldn't be allowed. We do have pipelines that run through my stepdad's property, but that pipeline company had to negotiate with each individual landowner as before they put the pipeline through. So they got contracts with all of those landowners, and they paid them all off for that right of way. And this company, which wants to put in a CO2 pipeline, wants to do the same thing, but they want to use eminent domain. They want the fucking governor to use eminent domain on that property. So to actually seize private property, to put that pipeline in for profit for that company. Well, what's the farmer getting out of that? He's getting actually nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Or the landowner's not getting a thing out of that. You know, if the pipeline company had to negotiate with the landowner, then the landowner would get a payment. There would be a contract there. But to use eminent domain to seize that land for that right of way, and then that landowner doesn't see any of that profit. That profit just goes to the corporation. That landowner is losing the use of that land. He may be able to farm over top of it or drive over top of it or whatever, but if there's something happens to that pipeline and there's a major malfunction, then who's left holding the bag? Yeah, the company, the corporation is going to clean it up and take care of it and all the legal aspects. But that farmer then is in possession of worthless fucking ground. So no, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. One of the founding principles of this country is the right to own private property. Private property ownership. One of the founding principles of this country. And the use of eminent domain to profit a private corporation is wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. No, Taragansu, that wouldn't have flew at all. No, not at all. No. You don't give public land to private individuals simply because they are royalty or people of high stature. If they are royalty or people of high stature, they can afford to fucking buy it at the price that we, the people, or you, the people, set. If you even agreed to it. Nah, that wouldn't fly. I could see fucking guns coming out for that one. No, not at all. No. No. They keep pushing shit. They keep pushing shit little by little by little. Little incremental bites. And then you get used to it. Them taking away your right to this, right to that, right to that. And you get used to it and you don't put up a fight. Then your children grow up and it's normal for them. They don't remember how it was before because they weren't born then. So when they're born, from the time they're born till the time they die, whatever happens within their lifetime is what they remember. No one remembers history. History is written by the winner anyway. So, but incrementally, little bit by little bit by little bit, they nibble away at your rights. And if you don't believe that, and look what they did after 2011 or September 11th, 9/11. The Patriot Act, then Patriot Act 2, which gave the government and the right to spy on American citizens in this country, all in the name of safety. Taking away your rights little bit by little bit. You don't have a right to privacy anymore at all. At all. You don't have a First Amendment right anymore, pretty much. You don't think so? Go ahead. Get online and criticize Israel. Go ahead, man. See what that'll get you. Whether Israel's right or wrong doesn't matter, but go ahead and criticize Israel. You can criticize any other country in the world, even your own government, but damn, don't criticize Israel because you'll be labeled as an anti-Semitic. No, not anti-Semitic. Just I don't want fucking Israel running my government. That's what I don't want. I think that all has it's tied together. I do. With Epstein, our government, Israel, I think that's all tied together. I do. That's it, Tergansu. You got it. That's it. When I die or my wife dies, my daughters are going to sell this property. It'll belong to someone else. It won't belong to me anymore or our family. It'll belong to someone else. And we got to own it for 40, 50 years. We got to hunt, we got to trap, we got to fish, we got to harvest timber, we got to till the land. What more do you want? What more do you want? Do you want to own it in perpetuity? It'll never happen. It'll never happen. The human race will be gone. And this planet will still be here. Oh, that's how it used to be. Stole the land from the natives here. Well, way back when you talk about stealing land from the natives, the Americas, North and South America, were one of the only continents that hadn't been settled yet, hadn't seen the wars of Europe, the kingdoms, the fiefdoms, the medieval wars, and the Americas hadn't seen that. So, and I don't like using the term natives. Native means you were born here. I was born here. I'm a native. But I'm not indigenous. I prefer the term indigenous. if you would, please. I know what you mean, but, he who owns the language owns the people. Anyway, um, yeah, this land was going to get settled. The indigenous peoples that were here um, was actually a sunsetting hunter-gatherer civilization. That civilization was sunsetting at the time. And yeah, what the mistake was, I think, was that the indigenous peoples were not allowed to assimilate. They were put under reservations. Reservations kept moving. Contracts and agreements kept being reneged on and rewritten. Yeah, the indigenous peoples got short end of the fucking stick. But what should have been allowed to happen was indigenous peoples should have been allowed to assimilate with the rest of the culture that was coming here. And that didn't happen. And you have hard feelings to this day. I don't know, man. As far as maintaining traditions and culture, I think that's a good thing. Remembering where you came from and what it used to be like. But my family has assimilated from Europe to here. I don't really have any traditions and cultural things that I celebrate from my European upbringing. My European lineage, I guess, not upbringing, but lineage. We don't have any. And I think as time goes on, more and more and more of that is forgotten. We become more homogenized. I don't know. In some aspects, remembering culture and traditions is a good thing. And sometimes it's a bad thing. I guess that's like everything, though. Hey, SCT, how you doing? Real is not when it comes to liberty. What are you talking about? Hey, Z, SGT is in blue. Where? Oh, there he is. Hold up. He will be. Now he is. Yeah, I saw that. Everybody's changing their names, it seems like. Stan did. Who else did? I don't know. People changing their names. I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. Still leave the name of my channel the same, but just change my. I don't think I can do that. Screen name. I don't know. Yes, I did once. Once because Goomba is a little bit different. It's a little catchier than Gary Huffman. Just, And what is a Goomba anyway? A Goomba. Think Italian. Think Italian mafia. What is a Goomba? A Goomba is a good guy. He's a friend. Somebody you can count on. That's a Goomba. Oh, Ink Man, if I used the handle I had in high school, I'll write it in chat. That's my nickname in high school. There you go. Silver crazed mama. That's a mouthful. That's a mouthful. No, I was never a gamer. You know, there was at one point way back when I first got married, I started playing Doom, and then I got interested in flying airplanes. So I had a flight simulator that I would play with quite a little. But after that, no, I had other things to do. Windows 95 era. Ooh, baby. I remember my Windows 95, 98. What else do we have? 2000. Millennium. Millennium. Oh, yeah, bad stuff. North the Plumber. That's what I was called in high school. You want to know why? Because the place that I was working part time at while I was in high school is called CVE, Cooperative Vocational Education. So we would go out and work part time during the school day. Um, I was working for a Dodge Chrysler dealership, and I was doing detailing work or doing oil changes. And then I started doing tires and that kind of stuff. But we had a bathroom in the shop, and I had a leak behind the tank, and I knew plumbing. So here I am laying on the floor with my head behind the toilet, fixing a water leak, and my buddy Eric comes in because he was working there too, and he called me Nort. You look like Nort the plumber, and that one stuck. That one stuck. He's an enemy. He's an enemy. Huh. Well, I wouldn't know that because I'm not a gaming kind of guy. Trying to take the word coins off. Yeah, well, it's not a bad thing. Simplifying names is actually better in all actuality. See, and I did like Lisa did. I had first name, last name. Boom, boom. Oh, Lisa, your package got mailed out this morning too. After the supervisors meeting, I went to the post office and mailed you and Jenna. I mailed Jenna this morning too. So yours is in the mail. Angel's House of Nuts. You should. Angel's House of Squirrels. Angel's House of Nuts. The squirrels are real. Ah, funny. Ah, what'd you get back, Ron? What did you get back, Ron? I know your name, first name is not Nort. Nort. Nort? No, it's not that. What are you talking? See, people accuse me of never reading chat, and when I do read chat, I get confused as hell. Cashews coins, Nutter Butter coins. His first name is Coin. Okay. And then when I got out of high school and went to the Army, what was I called then? Skinny 19-year-old kid. What was I called? Bones. I was known as Bones. I don't know why. I don't know why. Just because I was skinny. I know it doesn't seem like that today, but I was at one time. The hell was I when I got out of basic training? 155 pounds? 155, 160 pounds. I'm right comfortable at 200, 210 pounds. Right comfortable right there. But I'm 235, 240, and I'm a little bit hefty. Back when I went in, they would take anybody. During Iraq 2 and Afghanistan, man, they just wanted you warm. They didn't care. They just wanted warm bodies. There are certain times they get real picky, and then there are other times when they don't care. All the standards just go by the wayside. You know what I mean, Vern? Yeah. I haven't seen one of those in decades either, man. The last movie I watched online was Idiocracy. If that isn't a if that wasn't a peek into the future, I don't know what was. That was quite the movie. Yeah, it's kind of funny, but when you stop and think about it, you think, "Oh my God, today's society is well on the way to getting there. Well on the way." Back in 98. 98. Wow. Let me see. Hell, I'd already retired by 95. So, and Desert Storm 1 was 93, 94. So 98, there wasn't a whole hell of a lot going on, man. Oh, no, maybe. No. When did we do the Bosnia thing? Was that 98 around there? Okay, see you, Lisa. Big Apple is live, guys. Okay, you graduated in 91. Holy crap, I'm old. Jesus Christ. I graduated in 75. I should have graduated in 74. I was a bad boy, not paying attention, daydreaming a lot in fifth grade. And we actually moved from one town to another town because my mom got remarried to my stepdad. And I was just put right back into the fifth grade. And so I repeated fifth grade. And so I was 19 when I graduated instead of 18. I graduated in 75, should have been 74, but that's how things go. No, you can't have your son with you when you first go in till you get to your permanent duty station, and then you can. So you would have to go through basic AIT or your schooling, get to your permanent duty station, then you would have to do all that paperwork, and then you could have got your son to come back. But he would have had to live with grandparents or family members until then. So, yeah, I could be. I might be. Let me see. Where do you come from? Where were you born? I may have been around there at the time. Really? You meant after all that? Really? No, I think they were just bullshitting you. Because you would have been just any other soldier with a dependent. I mean, are there not married people in the army that go in the army when they're married or when they have children? Sure, they do. But then again, Michigan, ooh, not up by, ooh, not up by Selfridge, really, or up, what the hell is that other fort? Mm, there's a National Guard camp up there. I was up there a couple of times. Yeah, this is possible. I'm going to have to think about this a while. Operation Prairie Mantis, 88 tanker war. Oh, 15 years old. Ooh, they was young, huh? See you, SGT. Thanks for stopping by, man. Hey, Adam. How are you, man? See you, Tarragonte. We'll see you, man. Hey, good pickup. Good pickup on that Pride of Two Nations. That was a really good pickup. Yeah, I don't know, man. Getting involved in local politics is going to take time away from everything else. I don't know if I want to do it or if I don't. We'll see. I'll go to some of these meetings and we'll see how things turn out, and then maybe you could run. I could run for supervisor position for a term, but um, that's a lot of meetings. That's a lot of stuff to go do. And if you got other stuff to do, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Fresh produce. What time is it anyway? 4:30. I'm gonna have to start supper here pretty quick. Get some stuff made. What do you mean you're lost, Rhonda? Hey, Otis. Well, at least he's a grandpa, even if it was at 35 years old. Not a big deal. And I'll bet he enjoys his grandkids anyway, doesn't he? County supervisors. And when you're looking at all the county issues, like all this goddamn windmill right of ways and getting money from, um, and the only reason we got so many windmills in this county is because the county treasury gets money from the windmill companies for allowing them to be put up with tax revenue. And it doesn't make any difference because they don't make any money. All the money comes from the taxpayer. They're subsidized by the federal and state government to produce electricity, but they never make their money back. They never produce enough electricity to offset the cost of the windmill and the land lease and all of that good stuff. But yet the windmill company will pay the county so much money per site to have the windmills here so that they can make money from the taxpayer. It's a bunch of bullshit. All it is sleight of hand. They're taking money from the taxpayer to pay the taxpayer, with somebody else making money and getting rich on the taxpayer dime. So you take this big chunk of money from the taxpayer, give it to the state. The state takes their cut, gives it to the county. Okay, and the county says we're going to give it to the windmill company. Windmill company says, well, we're going to give you some money back in tax revenue for letting us have this windmill here. So it's all just a money shift, and people are making millions of dollars off it, making profit off it, off the taxpayer. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Well, it's not 15, yeah. Well, I'm looking at it this way. I look at it this way. If we were taking off the gold standard in 1971, completely divorced our currency from being backed by anything except the full faith and trust of the United States government. So what that means is our currency is backed by our gross domestic product, what we can produce in goods and services every year. That's what our currency is backed by. Nothing solid, no asset, no solid asset. So if our money's not backed by anything and we can print all the money we want, why in the fuck are we paying taxes? Think about it. Why are we paying taxes to a government that can print money? And another thing, why in the fuck are we paying property taxes? Once you buy a piece of property and you pay it off, it's yours, right? Should be. Go ahead and don't pay that property tax for 2 years and see what happens. It will get sold out from under you to pay that back property tax. So you don't own it. I can see if you took a loan to the bank and you didn't pay the bank back, you're using that land as collateral for the loan. Okay, got that. So you don't pay the loan back. The bank is going to take the asset from you. Okay, I got that. But you're not taking a loan out from the state. So why are you paying them money? There's no loan on your property. There's no loan. But they can still take that asset if you don't pay that tax. We went to war over shit like this, and all they got to do is keep it up, and it'll happen again. Yeah. Stinky and smelly. Yeah, them grandkids make it all worth it, don't it? See, Ink Man, have a good dinner. I'm going to go make some dinner here shortly. I think in about 4 minutes we're going to go do that. Follow her entire trading and selling all the Girl Scout cookies. Being a, what you say, a half billionaire? Quarter billionaire. Quarter billionaire. Well, I might be a quarter millionaire. Might be. Don't know. I got to do some. I got to do some calling tomorrow. I should have done that today. I got to make a couple different phone calls tomorrow. Oh well, I'll get that done. Nicknames. I got Stinky and Smelly and Lucky Ones channel. They have their own. They got their own, huh? Cool. I don't know. We're gonna have to talk to my adopted stepdaughter here and see if she, because she's pregnant right now with her second one, and her son, what, 10, 9, 10? So we're going to have to see if maybe he would like to start his own YouTube channel. But his dad, he could set that up if he wanted to. Whatever. I keep sending him little rocks and stuff. God damn it. And then I forgot those rocks I had out in the. I was going to send in them rocks. Because in gold pay dirt bag, a lot of times they'll put polished rocks in there, and I just pick them out, and then I'll send them to the kids. Maybe get them interested in rocks. I don't know. My uncle was a big when he was just out of college, he was teaching, but he was also a rock hound. He was a rock collector. He had rocks from all over the world, and he would make jewelry, custom made jewelry, kind of like a lot of you guys do. And he would go door to door selling it. And when he died, when he moved to his new house, it was just right next door to his old house. And because he was downsizing, going from a big house to a smaller house. And we had to move all of his rocks and all of his rock equipment. And we're talking saws and polishers and tumblers and, oh my God, you name it. The basement was full of that stuff. And the garage was full of rock. Me and my brothers would have been his nephews. I mean, hauling rocks. There's 3 of us big bastards. All 3 of us on slabs of rock that were cut in Africa or South America or wherever in Europe. And oh my God, did we carry rock. And then he died, and his wife sold all that stuff, and I am glad I did not have to move that again, ever. It took us 3 days to move all that equipment and those rocks. And he had some beautiful rocks. I got one. Where is it? Up there, over there. Where is that rock? And he especially liked agates. Let me get it. There it is. I see it. This is stuff like he would do here. That's the one rock I got left from him. It's only that thin too. So yeah, he geodes and agates, and they were great, man. We made my other cousin. Let's see. Ooh, bad storm there. All right, we'll see you, Rhonda. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Rhonda. No, I always pick up rocks. I picked up a couple of, I always pick up crystal. When I was coyote hunting down, or coyote trapping down in southern Iowa, um, out in the farm field, by a fence line, I found this rock. And I want you guys to look at this and look at the shape of it and look at the edges of it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know what that was just by looking at it. That's a scraper, and was meant to be held just like that, because that's where your thumb sets, and that's worn right there. Or you can hold it like this. That's a scraper. I know exactly what that is. I knew it the minute I saw it. You can't tell me that that's not napped, because it is. I know what it was when I looked at it. I have other pieces that a lot of times you think are hammers, but they're not. They could be, but they're not. Here's an interesting rock I found. And I know that that's a natural split, but it's still interesting as hell how perfect that is. Look at how flat that is. Look at that. That's almost laser perfect. And I know that's natural. Then we have this one. This one also could have been a scraper. Could have been. Not quite the type of rock, but it sure could have been. And see how flat that one is also. So if you hold it like this, it makes a lot of sense. Doesn't make sense like that, but it does like this. It fits right into your hand. That one is also probably a natural rock. And I found this one. It doesn't look like much, does it? Looks like a regular rock. But if you put it in your hand like this, with that side right there like that, and put your thumb on top of it and grip it like this, what does that look like? That's a hammer. The arrowheads that we find here, and there is an old Indian encampment just a quarter mile up that fence line to the north, about a quarter mile. And we find them here on this property all the time in the spring when it rains after field work. My father-in-law has a cabinet full of arrowheads and spear points that we found out here. And anytime I find them out here, I give them to him, and he puts them in with his collection. So, and this one right here, this is another one that looks just like a regular old rock, but and I think it is probably just a regular old rock, but it sure could have been a hammer. Sure could have been. But they have to be the right size and shape to fit in the hand. I don't know. The one that I showed you before, that one is a knapped scraper. That one is. These four right here, probably just regular rocks. But that one sure looks like a hammer to me. That one sure could have been a hammer because it's got the weight behind it. It's got the hand. It's got the feel in the hand. This one, probably not. That one, like that. It doesn't, I mean, it's got a nice sharp edge. And that could have been, it doesn't look like it's been flaked, though. It looks like that was just a natural wear. But it sure could have been. I don't know. This one is just a natural split. It's just cool how precise that is. It's just cool rocks, you know. I like rocks. Could I have been a geologist? Yes. Could have probably been, what do they call it? Not geologist, but I don't know. Rocks are rocks, I guess. Oh, here's the other one. I got rocks. I got rocks. Here's another one from my uncle. Can you see the hole in it? There you go. Maybe you can see it like that. It's a geode. That's just what it looks like on the outside. That's what it looks like on the inside. Pretty, ain't it? Not a big geode, but it is a geode. And just little stupid little rocks like this. This one. What does that look like? It's like a little heart. I don't think my wife found that one. And here's a couple more. How about this rock? Nice polished rock. That somebody had laser etched that on. Kind of cool. And I do have this one. I don't know if that one came from my uncle or not, but and I like to pick up quartz specimens. This one's limestone and quartz. A lot of quartz, if I find like little things like that, may look like silver, might be gold, I'll crush them. I got a rock crusher I made. And I can get it down. I can get the rocks down pretty far. BB size. I get them down to BB size anyway. I get a lot of dust, and that's where you're going to find the gold. I found 2 flakes of gold so far in quartz that I've crushed. So it's not that it's that there isn't any gold in quartz, because there is. I found 2 decent sized flakes. They're not huge, but they're decent sized flakes. Just crushing quartz. But the quartz it can't be milky white. It has to have some kind of some abscesses or cuts in there where it's infiltrated with iron or something, but or minerals get in. Yeah, look at them with a get a loop out, man. Get a loop out and take a look at them, because you can tell. And if you can get a little piece of gold out of them, you can tell if it's gold just by taking a real fine needle nose pliers and squishing it. If it squishes and retains its shape, but just squishes, it's gold. If you squeeze it with the needle nose and it just busts like that, it's not. Yeah, rocks are cool, man. I could have probably been a geologist at one time. And that's like I like to watch the Glacial Gold Hunter. If you ever watched him on YouTube, he's a geologist by education, and like he says, every rock tells a story. And he's cool. You will learn a lot about rocks from him, and you can watch him find some gold too. All right, guys, it's an hour and 41 minutes. I think we are going to call this one good. I'm going to go make some supper, and I'm going to take this picture back and hang it up where I don't break it. Yeah, I know. I like coming on and talking to you guys, but oh, you don't have to do that, Rhonda. I look at especially when I'm out looking at gold, because I have to keep moving my glasses up. I have to get my glasses up like this to see little specks of gold in there. So I keep a loop out there, and I always got to look. Always got to look. I got one of those folding out loops. You can get at the coin store. So I got one of them out there. I got another little lighted magnifier in here with a loop on, and then I got this bad boy in here too. So I got stuff I'm looking at. The only thing I can see where a microscope, a scope actual would be great to sit up here is if you're putting coins on, looking for errors all the time. And I try not to look for errors. God, I try not to look for errors. I'm just looking for specific dates, but all right. If you want to, let me help pay for the shipping then, if you're going to do that. All right. All right. All right. That's it. We're going to call her. We're going to call her for the evening, guys. Thanks for coming, hanging out, talking. It's been a blast. I just wanted to get you. I wanted to get that picture showed because, yes, there was one time in my life when I did that shit. Climbed 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 foot mountains with 120 pounds on my back. And escape and evade exercise or down pilot exercises or a lot of other stuff. But all right, we'll see you guys later. Hi, David Carlisle. Hold up. While you're here, hold up, David Carlisle. I just added you as a moderator. You are now blue. If you say something one more time, you will see that you are blue, and that will allow you to go to everybody else's channel and to subscribe. And I like to do that for you guys so that you can do that. There you go, man. That way you can go to everybody else's channel. All right, we're out of here. We're going to go. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.